Hello, good evening, everyone. Namaskara from Bengaluru, and I am Dr. Prachi Beriwala, Country
Audible.
Advisor, G100 Oneness in Wisdom. And we are back with a short break. Uh, February, month of love, symbolize a lot of things. So why not talk about something which makes more sense? From Valentine, it became Galentine. I think it should be self-entine. That is, so we should be focusing more on self-love because that's a need of the hour. So I, on behalf of my entire G100 Oneness Wisdom community, thank Dr. Harbin Arora Rai, the founder of G100, Natalie Forrest, our global chair, and Annu, our country chair. And I thank all my, co-participants today for being there. So, talking about G100 Oneness and Wisdom, we do a lot of events to showcase oneness in whatever we do throughout the world. And yeah, definitely when we do something, it is full of wisdom. We share wisdom and we gain wisdom. So, without much ado, I'll start today's event. And today's event is all about self love. So, if I have to, define self love, it is going to be self, that is something, oh, I think settling everything or setting everything, s setting, e everything about our own, l life, F first. So setting everything about ourselves or our own life first and just loving it. I think self love is all about that. Life is tough, so are we. Life has given a lot of challenges, and we, the strongest, have faced it because we are not the one who will stop. We call ourselves the unstoppables. We call ourselves the victory queen because we know how to manage, because we know how to love ourselves. So, can I request my co-panelist to introduce themselves? Namrata, over to you.
Hi, I'm Namrata. I'm from Gurgaon and a part of this amazing community. Um, I am a certified life coach and a yoga instructor, and I've been taking a lot of corporate session in mindfulness and meditation.
That's so nice to meet you, Namrata. Srividya,
Yeah. Hi, everybody. I am Srividya Mohan from Mumbai. I am the G100 Oneness and Wisdom Mumbai City Chair. I'm a certified mindfulness trainer, a certified coach, and I specialize on parenting workshops. So, how to develop emotional intelligence in children. So, mindful parenting is what I do. Yeah.
wow. Dr. Reshma,
Thank you. So, hello everyone. This is Dr. Reshma here. I am a microbiologist and a psychotherapist and mind and body therapist as well. Currently, I'm working as a mind and body therapist where I actually stress upon stress and anxiety, depression, and all kind of negative emotions. And I'm working with celebrities and so many other clients whom actually, I help them how to self love, how to bring about the love which is lacking, long lost friend. So I'm really happy to be a part of this platform. And I forgot to mention that I am a regional advisory council member in G100. And thank you very much for having me here. Thank you.
Reshma, Sudha, over to you.
Hello, everyone. This is Sudha Kumar. I'm an educationist and an Edupreuner, specialized in teaching children maths, especially for the younger ones. I just love teaching maths to younger children rather than the older children. I must admit that. But I do for all the children, right from primary to K-12. And when it comes to G100, I'm very fortunate to be a part of organization or group, like-minded people like us of G100. I am the West Zone Region Chair for India. Thank you so much.
Wonderful. And yeah, sorry.
Yeah, tell me.
And welcome to all the beautiful sister on this platform. Since the event is all about self love, so I would ask you this question: what do you think self love is?
Okay. See, all this while, till recently, I always thought that self-love means what? Taking the time for yourself. Okay. And we are so busy. We don't get time. And especially whether you are a homemaker, whether you are a working professional, we don't have that time for ourselves. So we keep thinking, I want to go this, I want to do something, I want to watch a movie. We don't get time. That's what we keep thinking within. But recently, I happened to watch one of the videos by Brahma Kumaris. And there I felt self love is not just about thinking about yourself. What are you doing to yourself? Whether you're taking the time for yourself, but it's more than that. Okay, I would like to give a small example about myself because I started realizing after watching that video, I realized, okay, this is that. So I used to be a very pessimistic. I'm not exactly pessimistic. I do think a lot. A small thing, a parent would come and tell me something in my classes, or my friend would say something, or anything, whatever happens, I keep thinking about it. It used to linger in my head for a long time. And I would just like, I would tell my husband or I would tell my friends about it. So what's happening in the whole process is I'm not forgetting about that event. I'm thinking about it a longer time. I'm passing on all that negative energy to someone who is beside me. So I'm not leaving that. So we are pointing, like I'm pointing that finger to that person who has hurt me, right? So I kept thinking, why did he do that? Why did she do that to me? Why did they say such a word to me? But I never realized that nobody has that kind of an influence on me to hurt me. It is me who has to take care of myself. It is me who has to leave all those thoughts behind and think about something positive. Because when that other person, the opposite person said something, some other thoughts must be going on in his or her mind, which made them say like that. So I should not think about those negative feelings and keep on thinking about that particular incident and keep it in the head and keep hurting myself. So that particular, just giving up all the negative thoughts, embracing the positive thoughts is also self love. The moment you start loving yourself, you will not get affected by any such kind of thoughts. They say no, like सारी दुनिया प्यार करती है तुमसे, पर तुम किसी से प्यार नहीं करते तो फायदा कुछ नहीं होता. So it's like that. So the more you love yourself, the more you'll see the love within your neighbors, with your friends, with your family, wherever you look, you'll find. So self-love means, I feel, finding the peace within. It's also self-discipline, all put together. It's not just taking the time for yourself. That is also very important. But along with that, all these things make self-love very important.
Wow. I think I really needed it, though I know I do self love. I love myself, but I think I needed more, extra more. To thanks, Sudha, for that. And very surprising whenever, like I talk about self love or whenever there's a discussion, people always say, oh, self love, self obsession. So, there's always a myth, or I think there's a very thin boundary. People think, there's a difference between, there's no difference between self. If you're thinking about loving yourself, you're obsessed with yourself. So I'm still surprised, though I know it is not, but I would like to hear it from my co-panelist, Dr. Reshma. What do you think about it? Is self love is self obsession?
Not at all. Actually, you won't believe that, 10, 15 years back, even I used to feel that self-love. Oh my God, how can I do self-loving myself? Like, it means you just do makeup and be extraordinarily dressed up. And those things, when people, they used to talk about self-love, and why don't you take care of yourself like before you got married? So I used to say, no, 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 now I have my kids. I have to take care of them. Self-love, that means, I don't have time to do that. Later, when I came into this psychology, and when I came to know that this is self-love is not meaning that this is self-obsession. Self-love is definitely is related to taking care of yourself first. It's not that you're leaving behind everyone. Unless and until, like you must have heard that, all the air hostesses, what they, tell us, what they guide us. पहले अपना mask लो उसके बाद, because if you are not alive, how are you going to help others? So what I understood by this, that yes, I have to take care of myself. My health, proper sleep, taking rest. If I just keep on overdoing things, just taking overburden myself. What happens when we are overburdened with work? What happens? We get so much irritation in ourselves, we get frustrated, and nothing looks good to us. Even if it is a single word from anyone, from husband or children, we get wild. And that is why, I thought, okay, this is the process, where I can first heal myself by inculcating self love in myself first, and then I'll be able to understand. And you won't believe, earlier, I used to be literally irritated. For most of the thing, I used to be, very aggressive. And when I started doing this, taking a rest, taking proper medicines for myself, otherwise, when I used to fall sick, I used to ignore. No, 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 I have to go for school. I have to drop them to school. Not so much of other work. I used to feel पूरी दुनिया का बोझ मेरे सर पे ही है. And that thing used to make me feel always drained. My skin was very ugly. I mean, I started becoming very dull. Nobody even knew that I was a doctor. I just sacrificed. I felt that sacrificing is the word for every woman. No, women after married or after having children, they have to sacrifice their life for their children and their families. But after I realized that, I have calmed down a lot and I have started loving myself, it does not mean obsession means you are demeaning others. You have arrogance. That is self obsession. I am beautiful, even if I have nothing. But that is arrogance. I don't believe that self love is arrogance. That is self obsession. So there is a huge difference between these two. So one must understand self love does not mean that you should not take care of yourself, or this does not mean that you think of yourself something. Oh, मैं तो कुछ हूँ. That is obsession. So I think one must understand, and it's not only for females, it's for everyone. It's for men as well. Even they need their own me time with their friends. Sometimes, we become so dominating on them. कहाँ हो, क्या कर रहे हो, कुछ कर रहे हो, जाओ मत कहीं, मुझे छोड़ के कहीं. So this becomes a matter of being irritated with each other. We become a nagging, let's say, full time nagging karti. Even husbands, they go far away from us. So I would say, start thinking about it. Give yourself importance. जब आप खुद अपने आप को importance नहीं दोगे, दूसरा कोई नहीं देने वाला. Self love is self worth. And trust me, from the time I have thinking about myself, I have become so calm. I have become something different. Even my children, they're saying, "Mama, you're some different. You are different now. You're accepting more than, just bring it back." I'm very happy. And I would, whoever is watching, my viewers or everyone, please understand self love is not obsession. It will help you in a long run. So that's what I want to say. And I would, Dr. Prachi, I am really thankful to you for bringing up this topic so that whoever is seeing us, they would know how to take care of themselves. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Dr. Reshma. That was wow, amazing. Do you want to add something, Srividya, to this?
Yeah, and thank you, Reshma. That was a wonderful viewpoint, I would say.
Thank you.
Yeah. So, yeah, the question is how different it is from being self-obsessed, right? Okay. I would just like to give a small example. Okay, I like to have coffee, all right? But somebody is giving me tea. Okay. Self-love is where I know that, okay, coffee is what I like. Okay. The tea is being offered to me. I'm very confident. I'm very calm, clear about what I like and I don't like. Okay. And I don't accept it because I politely say, so coffee is my preference. Okay. That is self love. Whereas self obsessed is, how can you give me coffee? Like, how can you give me tea? Because I like coffee and kind of fight for it. That is the thin line. Okay. So, in a nutshell, if we think self love would give us three very important feelings, like three C's. Okay. Calm, calmness, confidence, and clarity. If we feel calm, clear, and confident, that means that is self love. Whereas self obsession comes with three A's: arrogance, anxiety, and anger. So the moment we feel these, we know that, okay, there is a flip happening. So self love is something which just spreads. The way we love ourselves, we start loving the world the same way. That is the biggest difference between self love and self obsession. Because in self love, there is inclusivity. In self obsession, there is exclusivity. Okay, when I'm prioritizing myself, yes, thanks to social media, this myth has come, like, providing time for myself. I would say providing time for myself to reflect, to understand what I like, okay, what I can digest, what I'm getting, and choose. You can always choose, right? So if I can't digest something, I can say no very politely, but I should know that I can't digest this. Or I can, okay, I can manage this. So being kind to ourselves along with empathy for others is self love. So, okay, so it is not just about self, it is about seeing the self in every person we interact with. They all have a self. So, this love, self love, is something which is very, very inclusive. Yeah.
I am, I feel like I'm sitting such a wonderful class, like though I'm an educator, but I feel so good being this side and listening to everyone around. Wow. I'm so grateful that we are having this session. See, we understand, and I really like the triple A and triple C wala concept, Srividya. Thank you so much for bringing it up. See, if we talk about, okay, now Sudha told us what is self-love. Reshma and Srividya, they made us to understand that there's a difference between self-love and self-obsession. But still, there are many people who still do not understand the concept of self-love. Though it is like, I'll just tell you, the other day I was talking to one of my colleague and I was telling him, like, see, I understand you are stressed out, all the time. I understand you are the only earning member in the family. Why don't you take out some time for yourself? Where, madam, this is good. I say it's just about, few moments with yourself. How do you spend time with yourself? He's asking. I said, like, if you can't spend time with yourself, who else will spend time with you? You can't be so boring in life, right? So I would, like, ask Namrata. Namrata, would you like to give some tips to our viewers and listeners and how to develop this self-love? Many
Yeah,
of them don't know.
thanks for bringing that, Prachi, because a lot of people come in. This is a normal question. They say, I don't have time. But yeah, we do have time to scroll and all, but we will still, hear what are the three simple hacks per se, which we can, very easily inculcate in our day-to-day lives. So, one of the things, like I think Dr. Reshma also said, Srividya also said, it's important to fill your own cup first. So, I think you need to figure out what is it that makes you happy. So, for example, maybe let's say reading a book, just going out in sunlight. And it doesn't have to be half an hour or 1 hour. It doesn't have to be that daunting if, let's say you're a parent, you're a working parent, or, you have a lot of runs and chores to do. You can just really keep 10 minutes aside for yourself. So I think it's about those 10 minutes, but also understanding what is it that truly makes you happy. It could be journaling, listening to nice music, just randomly dancing. Like, it doesn't have to be a structured thing. It's about what, comes from inside. And second thing I will say, this I do very often. I know people might think it's funny, but I do a lot of mirror talk. So, when I just look into the mirror and doesn't matter if I'm having a very bad day, I just go and tell myself, you did good. It was a difficult day. It's fine. I know it wasn't easy what you did, but I'm proud of you how you handled it. So, just being very kind to yourself and how you talk to yourself is very important. How someone just comes and says, you are a bad person. We will keep thinking about that the entire day, right? But have we ever pondered and thought how we talk about our own selves in our own mind? So I think it is very important to take that pause and see what is it that what's your own story running in your mind and how kind you can be. And honestly, this mirror talks comes very handy. Nobody has to be around. I just lock myself in the washroom and just take those extra 2-3 minutes. And this is what I do very often. And I realize in like minutes, my body posture is very different to what it was, just 5 minutes back. So this is a very simple hack again for people who struggle with taking out a lot of time. The third thing, which I do again, and that is something I do more like on a weekly basis or on a fortnightly basis. And I'm glad the question of self obsession and self love has been clarified, because this probably people could get confused there. I write a love letter to myself. So it's like a gratitude for my own self. Like every week, I would just take a cup of coffee and I would first start thanking, let's say, my body, for, just being healthy. It's okay. Everybody has health goals. You might not be at your ideal weight. That's fine. But you are healthy. I'm able to have my five senses working properly. And then just thanking myself, for just the way I am, understanding and realizing, yes, I have to improve on certain parameters, and it's a learning curve like everybody else has. But I am so so proud of the journey that I have come along and the kind of person I have come. So every weekend, this is a ritual. I spend 10 minutes with my cup of coffee and I write a love letter to myself. So this is something that I really really love doing, and again, doesn't take too long. Once a week, 15 minutes you can always take out. So I think these are the three hacks that I would like to share.
That's lovely, Namrata. And writing love letter to myself, I think the work diary, every day, what I manage at office, there also sometimes it is written, and people actually make fun of me because the notice board opposite to my chair I have written, Dear Prachi, be kind to yourself. You love yourself
Oh,
better than anybody does. Love you, Prachi. I have written that.
that's so
And
nice.
everybody thinks it's crazy. It's
Yeah.
crazy. The moment I feel a little low, I just look at it and I'm like, okay, charged up.
Yeah, there is someone who loves you. Is it?
So it is like, people around are always to kill you, and my job is killer job. So I think, that makes a lot of sense, Namrata. Thanks for bringing it up. So, would you like to add something to whatever Namrata said?
Yeah, that was really lovely. And one of the things which I practice is also that mirror talks. I don't actually go and talk to myself, but every day in the morning, I meditate ritual because I went for some training sessions where they had taught me this thing, that every day in the morning and in the night before sleeping, just stand in front of the mirror and say to yourself, I am happy, I feel happy, I look happy, and I give thanks. So this four sentences I say, and that too you have to say it with a big smile. When you're smiling and saying it, it actually makes a lot of difference to your whole inner feelings. Whatever you're thinking, whatever, if the whole positivity comes into your mind, and you start feeling nice and fresh. Especially in the morning, just like she said, no, just brush your teeth, and then in the washroom only before coming out, look into the mirror and say those four sentences, and you feel very nice. Yeah, I mean, you feel like you are ready for the whole challenges of the entire day. Now you are ready because the moment you step out, everything is waiting for us. Morning ka dabba, then afternoon ka lunch, everything is, and your own work, everything is waiting. So this helps us a lot to keep focused on ourselves, to take care of ourselves, and also not to focus too much on what others are doing, because whatever is my work, whatever is my family, my children, it's all mine. Like I have to focus on that. And most important, focus on yourself. Do some meditation, because we have mindfulness experts over here. So a small 5 minutes meditation, and I have made it a very ritual. The moment I come out and start my work, I switch on the shlokas in the morning, and they will be going on and on. And it like at the back of the mind, I'm just listening over there and then doing all my work in the kitchen. So it helps me a lot in keeping my thought process in control. Otherwise, I had observed before, when I was not doing this, I'll get up and then I'll start thinking, oh my God, now I have to do this. I have to prepare the notes. I have to prepare question papers for my children. Exams are coming. This parent is coming. So only those thoughts are keep on moving in my head. And the moment I started, from the past few years, I'm doing this. I just switch on the YouTube, and daily I just have the shlokas or mantras which are there. I keep on a soft note. I keep it so that it's going on in the background, and I'm doing my work. So that really helps a lot. I think the more we practice all these things, the more we start focusing on ourselves, focusing, not like you said, not going to the obsession part, but taking care of ourselves. The moment you take care of yourselves, you are ready to take care of others.
True, very true. I agree. See, I would like to correlate this. Life is like a mobile phone, right? So if your phone has full battery, your phone is full charge, you can do anything in the phone.
Yes.
Correct? That charge is self.
Yeah.
So I think if we love ourselves, we can do anything around. We can, like whatever has to be done. I think it can be done with a lot of perfection. We feel more complete. I think, like, so, talking about, like, now, I think, like, we have spoken about self-love. We have spoken about the how different it is or how similar it is to self-obsession, how one can start practicing it. Now the question still arises, because how much ever you say, how much ever you preach, people don't understand the importance of it. So can I throw this question on Dr. Reshma? Dr. Reshma, can you help our viewer to understand how important this is?
As I mentioned, that this is very, very important, and we are talking about this. And there are people. I mean, I'm very, very impressed that they have shared a very beautiful exercises that talk to yourself and mirror talking. Even I do. This is important because no one can pour from an empty cup. The thing is, when we don't have anything, if you don't have anything for yourself, how can you expect to give the same thing to others? If you want to love others, then you have to love yourself first. If you want to care for others, then you have to take care of yourself first. Everything comes from you first. Why we? Again, I'll say that this is not self-obsession. One must understand why is it important, because if you have money in your pocket, then only you can help others. Like you can give aims to others. But आपके पास खुद के पास कुछ नहीं है. Then how are you going to expect you? Because you can give what you have. If you're frustrated, if you're not doing something for yourself, you not have me time. Me time is like, Namrata just said that you just give yourself even a 10-minute time is very, very important, because that particular time you can just close your eyes and think about who you are. First, who am I? Who I am. If I don't understand why am I here? What is my responsibilities? And should I go beyond my limitations? Should I accept it from everyone? Where do I have to put barriers or, that boundaries? We need to put boundaries, healthy boundaries, that, okay, this much only. Saying no, learning to say no. Why this is important? Because sometimes we become a people pleaser. We feel, okay, he should not feel bad. She should not feel bad if I'll say no. No, then because of that, just keep on accepting. Okay, I'll do it. Okay, I'll do it. Okay, I'll do it. And when you keep this habit, people, they gradually they take you for granted. And one fine day when you'll say no, they'll take you really as a bad person. So if you want to, if you learn saying it politely, as Srividya ma'am said, when you learn to say politely, okay, sit, I would love to help you. Today, I'm busy with something, I'm occupied with something. Or we don't have to be rude. We have to accept this is my capacity. I cannot just go beyond my capacity, and then eventually, and we'll end up getting frustrated, getting irritated. When we want to go to a movie, we can't because we have a lot of work on our heads. So I would say this is important, very, very important, because once you are happy, you can spread happiness. When your cup is full, you'll be able to pour something for others. Learn this, accept this first that you are important. You- हम सबको इम्पोर्टेंस देते हैं. वी गिव इम्पोर्टेंस टू ईच एंड एवरी पर्सन इन आवर लाइव्स, और जो एक इंसान जिसको हम इम्पोर्टेंस नहीं देते हैं वो हम खुद अपने आप को नहीं देते हैं. एंड दैट इज द रीजन आई टेल यू मोस्ट ऑफ द पेशेंट्स हु कम, नो, मुझे कभी आई डोंट गेट रिस्पेक्ट फ्रॉम माई फैमिली because you don't respect yourself, because they are taking, why they are taking you for granted? Because you have not given your importance to them. You have not created that boundary. मुझसे इतना ही हो सकता है. It's okay. It's okay to say no. Take rest, take me time. Go for movies sometimes, no problem. Even if you don't have anyone around, go alone. Love yourself first. You know, I always say I'm enough for myself. I am enough for myself. I don't need anybody. You, because you know, you'll notice that every woman, एक दिन ऐसा आता है, your children grow up, we become old, and then you know we realize अरे जो टाइम था वो हमने किया ना. बच्चे बाहर पढ़ने चले जाते हैं, they just go out for studies, they have their own group of circles, they do not want us to be a part of their community. Then we feel lonely. So before it happens, create something. And it does not need that, you know, movie ही जाओ, makeup ही करो, खुद का spa में ही जाओ. You must learn some skills. That is the best thing I must say. When you learn something, you can teach something. And this is how you can pass your time. You must think, 10 साल के बाद मुझे क्या करना है? मैं क्या करूंगी? What will I do when my children will grow up and they will go abroad? They will have their own lives. So अभी से जो ऐसी कोई learning, some skills जो आपको बाद में काम आए, and people will learn from you. अगर कोई ना भी सीखे, हम अपने लिए काफी होना चाहिए. So I think one must know that you should be enough for yourself from now. Inculcate this habit, instill this habit, and this will help in the long run. Again, I'll say. And one last thing that, you know, mirror talk, writing a love letter to yourself. This will increase that happy hormones, which will, when you will have depleted hormones, one fine day when every woman has to go for menopause, trust me, those mood swings are very tough for every woman. And then, you know, everybody else started in क्या है इनका, जब देखो इनका मूड खराब रहता है. So for that purpose, अपने hormones को, happy hormones को release करना, you have to learn. And this will help you when you need it more. And that's why it is very important.
Thank you for bringing up Dr. Reshma. Srividya, would you like to add something to this?
Yeah. In one statement, I would say self love is important for self health. Okay. Because this is something which I always remind my mom. She's 74 now. Okay. I just asked her this question one day. Okay. Amma, give me an answer. What stays with you till the end? Okay. She was saying this. She literally didn't have answer. I said, just think about it. First is our own two legs. Strength of our legs is very, very important. Okay. The fitness comes from fitness from legs. And our own physical health is what is going to stay with us till the end. Now, the question comes, okay, how can self-love, how is it related to self-health? Because we go through, research has number of, like the number varies, okay? Some say around 60,000 thoughts, okay? We go through it, we are not aware of it. Do we realize that for every emotion, there is a corresponding chemical being produced by our brain? Okay. How health deteriorates because of the positive and negative neurotransmitters. Like, you know, if we have too much of cortisol is required, but too much of cortisol, that is what is ending up as disease in different parts of the body. Okay. So self-love gives us that, that I would say filter, right? Where am I putting my energy on? When I know somebody is talking to me who is giving a very, very bad review about myself, or not feeling good about that conversation, I know in my mind that I'm not going to waste my energy with this person. I respect that person, but the opinions are very, very different. So there is a mental block, right? Like how kids do. You can have deaf ears. You can be physically present and have deaf ears. The reason is you will not get those ill feelings, which will not release all the stress hormones. So self-help, self-love, that is why it's very important that we have these kind of filters as we grow up, as we grow old, I would say. Like, where do we waste our energy on? Like, whom do we have relationships with? We need to have relationship with all kinds of people, but investing our energy with people who are like-minded, okay, where it serves a purpose, that helps a lot. And always taking it as opinions, opinion of the other person, not their opinion about self. Okay, somebody can come up and tell me, like, whatever you're saying is completely wrong. That is that person's perception, that person's opinion. So when we have this filter, that is the primary step for self-love. And yeah, it is important as a parent, because from the parenting view also, I would like to put an emphasis on this, because a child learns self-confidence from the parent. Okay, how much we love ourselves, that will portray the confidence we have in ourselves. Okay, the reason we need to prioritize our own wishes and likes is because you need to have confidence to do things which you like. And when we do that, our children also learn to implement that thing. So just like talking to the mirror, we must always remember that, a child is always looking at us. So self-love, if when we love ourselves, we teach self-confidence to our child. That is the only way we can teach self-confidence. So that is another reason why it is very, very important that we give importance for self-love. In this fast-paced life, very simple tricks like mirror talking, I would like all of you to just experience this. I hope you have all tried it. Have you ever tried hugging yourself tightly? Okay. We can just do that for, it wouldn't even take 5 seconds. Hug, a very hug tight, closing our eyes with a smile, a very good hug. That is the experience of self love. Okay. Touch is required, like, wherein we connect to ourselves. There are so many ways we can do that. It is not about me, 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 me. Okay. I will do my things first. That is not self love. Self love is knowing our position in a crowd. Okay. Not getting lost in a crowd. That is self love. And it is very important because as a parent also it's important, as a as an individual also, to remain healthy. It is very, very important, so that we have all the right neurotransmitters being produced by our brain. Simple, that's it. Yeah.
Amazing, amazing. So I don't know. I'm really on like ah a moment for me. See, before we wind up, I would request all of you to just give one simple tips to our viewers and audience on how to emphasize upon self love, or how to start this process. Just one simple tip, what you people follow in life, in just one sentence, and we'll wind it. And Namrata, I'll start with you.
So I think when I started this practice, or when I was teaching others as well, I see a lot of resistance in people. For some people, it's very difficult to tell it to themselves that I love myself. And I think if you want to make it a little deep rooted, if you're struggling with this, if you're not able to do the mirror talk, or if you're not able to do any of the things, write a love letter to yourself, just take a moment and see, are you holding anything big against your own self? That's a little more deep rooted trauma. And just very kindly, like how you would forgive your daughter, your parent, take a moment and forgive yourself. So you have to learn how to be kind to yourself, like you would be kind to your most loved one. And you need to, like, I think we all have said enough. We have to be like, we are our most loved ones. So we have to be kind to ourselves. So release that anything that you have been holding against your own self, where you feel, you've not been able to forgive yourself. You felt, what, ye maine theek nahi kiya tha. I shouldn't have done that, or you regret that. This will really help you to overcome the fact that you're not able to love yourself. And this really helped a lot of people in my journey that I knew, who were then eventually able to do these practices very easily. So this is a small tip I wanted to share.
Wonderful. Thank you, Namrata. What about you, Dr. Reshma?
I always tell them first to release their anxiety, whatever they are keeping on their chest in the form of anxiety. So I ask them to take deep breath. Deep breathing is always underrated. Deep breathing, at least 3 to 4 times. That's enough. 3 times a day. So when you do this deep breathing, imagine that you are taking pure air inside, hold it back, and then release it. When you're releasing your air through mouth, imagine that that's some black thing. Imagine that this is your anxiety and this is coming out. And once you do this, just keep your eyes closed for some more time and say to yourself that I deserve everything good. I deserve best and I am good for myself. And then again, just rub your hands, put it on your eyes, and then you start. And this gives a lot of relaxation. When you're relaxed, when your body is relaxed, then further things can be practiced. So the first thing, they should start from deep breathing. Deep breathing is very important. This is in one line, I will say that.
Wonderful. Srividya?
Okay. What I have applied in my life and it has really worked is have this mantra as the life mantra. There can be more than one rights at any particular time. If we are with 100 people in a room, there can be 100 rights because 100 rights can coexist. One right and one wrong cannot coexist. So anything happens in life, I'm right, opposite person also is right. We'll never feel stress because we are very sure about the fact that I'm right. So we'll have that assertiveness, everything automatically comes because the other person is also right. So the mantra for life, if we practice it, self-love begins from there, that there can be more than one right at any particular point of time.
Wow. Sudha?
Yeah. So I just remembered one thing which happened in the class today. There was this third grade child who kept on saying, I don't like to do this. I don't like to do this. And then he said, teacher, is it like that? Whoever is getting good marks, they're all the smart people. And whoever is not getting good marks, they're not the smart people. And also, whoever is getting a good marks, they're all they're all very arrogant. And whoever is not getting the good marks, they are the kind people. So I was thinking about that one for a long time. Like, how do I explain to the child? Because it should not happen that, because we always keep telling the children that you should be very kind. So it should not happen that the child thinks all the people who don't get the marks, they are very kind. so, so then I said, see, don't keep on, I hate. Don't keep on saying that word, I hate. Keep saying that you like something. The more you say that word, I like something, you'll actually start liking something and you'll start actually doing that particular thing. The more you say hate, the more you'll keep on running away from that. So when we are talking about all this self-love, I feel we have to practice self-love as women, as mothers, and as homemakers. We have to practice so that we can set an example for the children. But also, it's very, very important to instill that change, to instill that particular process of loving yourself in children as well. The moment you do that, they grow up to be respectful individuals, to be like good citizens who can actually bring about a change. And they, I mean, they after growing up, you cannot then you all those negative feelings also won't come into their mind. So that's what I learned today, actually, in the classroom when I was teaching.
Wow. And I would share my thing. See, as a kid, maybe when I was growing up, till a very, very long time, I used to always feel I'm fat and I'm ugly. I always had that feeling, a lot of inferiority complex regarding myself. Okay, I'm still not, on a thinner side or whatever, but I accepted it. And any point of time you'll see me, I'm always well dressed. I take 10 minutes time out of myself in the evening to make sure what I'm going to wear it in the morning for my office work. So I think that's a way I reflect myself upon, because I something which I did not like within me, and I worked upon that. So I won't say, I worked upon my beauty or I worked upon something, but I made sure that I like myself when I look at myself in the mirror. So I make sure that everything, right from top to toe is matching. It's like, there is a grace in whatever I, wear and whatever I carry. So I think that's my mantra of, how I started self-love was this way. That's where my journey started. Going for movies, writing letters to myself, mirror talking, meditation. I think I do everything, and because it took me a lot of time to love myself. So thank you so much, sisters. Thank you very, very much. I'm so grateful to Anu, who is not there today with us, for always keeping her faith in me that I will justify to her platform. Thank you so much, Dr. Harbeen, for giving us this wonderful platform where we can share our thoughts, and we can be one on certain topics and share our wisdom. Thank you so much, everyone, and good night.